It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today we are reviewing episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars Visions Season 2. So we are covering I Am Your Mother, the adventure to Dark Hill or something like that, Dark Face or something, and then we are also covering episode 6, which I just watched, and I cannot remember the name of. But it was still a fun... The Spy Dancer. So this batch of episodes was pretty fun, and ranged completely different tones in completely different eras. Something I do want to mention with this season is it does feel more Star Wars and more to lore than Season 1, from what I remember. Especially this batch of episodes. I mean, obviously, it always does feel like Star Wars, but like Season 1 felt like a different interpretation of Star Wars, almost something like Star Wars adjacent. These episodes still feel like they could take place in Star Wars. So for I Am Your Mother, this was another claymation-esque episode. It was, I believe, Australian because everybody had Aussie accents. And it was a fun episode. This was another one that kind of reminded me of like Fantastic Mr. Fox or a Wes Anderson style thing. And this is about a girl, Twi'lek girl, who goes to a flight academy run by Wedge Antilles, by the way, that is having a parent-student race day. And the main girl is embarrassed by her mother and their ship. It's kind of like a poor, beat-up ship. And she's afraid everybody's going to make fun of her for it. She forgot her lunch, though, on the way of leaving home to go to school. So her mom flies the ship over, lands it in the middle of the racetrack before the race starts to give her her sandwich. That's when she figures out that the daughter didn't even tell her about the race. And after the mother was getting made fun of by another student's mother who was kind of a jerk, the student and the mother, she decides to join in on the race, and they end up racing, obviously. And in that, the mean ones start like hitting other racers and knocking them off course, possibly killing them. But of course, the main Twi'leks end up winning. If you guys remember from my Bad Batch Season 2 review, I'm not a big fan of race episodes, although I did find this one enjoyable. I did like the message of it doesn't matter what your background is, you could still achieve your goals. And I also just thought it was actually kind of comical. I just didn't really care for the story. I mean, I like watching races, but like, I'm just not a big race fan. I don't know why, for seeing it in shows. I mean, like, the pod racing scene in Phantom Menace is pretty good, but like, I don't like whole episodes of shows dedicated to that, if that makes sense. So next we have the quest to Dark Hill, or it's something along the lines of that. And this kind of looks like it takes place in like High Republic era, which is pretty cool. So there is actually pre-High Republic, this is like Old Republic War, actually. There is a random girl who believes that her home planet has these two statues of the light side and the dark side, and if they were to destroy the statue of the dark side, the war would be over. So she asked the Jedi if she should do this, and they send her a Jedi to go with her. Now, this Jedi's master was killed by a Sith, and the Sith is trying to recruit this Jedi. So they end up going to the planet. run into the Sith. The Jedi fights him, and during the fight almost gives in to his rage and realizes that that's not the Jedi way, and they destroy the statue and end up like kind of ending the war, I guess. And he also kind of, the Jedi becomes at peace with his master's death. So that's how that one is. I thought that one was very good. I did like moving on was the moral of this one. I did like that. I thought that was a fun story, enjoyable animation, and just all fun together. And then after that, we had the Spy Dancer. This one, I have very mixed feelings about. It did get me emotional. The animation was kind of funny. I mean, we had like Mr. Incredible looking stormtroopers in this. But there's points where my suspension of disbelief kind of went out the window, mainly with this dancer's dress. So the whole premise is there's this dancer at an Imperial bar who lost her son to the Empire, so she's fighting for the rebellion by spying on the Empire. She ends up seeing what looks like is the Imperial that stole her son, watching the show, but ends up actually being her son. What I mean by this was like very, suspension of disbelief is her dress becomes a weapon, and she starts using it basically like the Venom symbiote of like picking. There's a point where she throws a part of the dress, catches 3 stormtroopers, and then throws them like across the bar or the opera house or whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of like a moment of like, okay, there's no fabric in any type of universe that should be able to hold that together. I was sitting there thinking, but then when they revealed that that was her son, that's where I got a little emotional. I was like, oh, ouch, this actually hurts. But yeah, and it kind of ends with the mother leaving the son behind, but also leaving an opening for them to come back. So this batch was okay, I think. Because like I said, I didn't care for the racing episode, but I liked the message and I liked the characters. The 5th episode was very good. So the first one I'm going to give a 5 out of 10. 4th one, 5th one I'm going to give a 8 out of 10. And the 6th one I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. So it is very average of a batch of episodes. I am excited to watch the last 3. There's like pictures that I've seen for Vision Season 2 that I haven't seen the episodes yet. So I am really excited to see those shorts, and we'll cover it next week and finish this up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan, signing off.